When you picture a real estate brokerage, you probably think of a bustling sales floor. But look under the hood, and what you actually have is a high-volume financial data router. Every showing, every closed deal sends streams of information firing across your network. This chart breaks down your data. In the medium risk tier, standard transaction records. Up in the high risk tier, bank details, payouts, and payroll. This density of liquid assets turns your back office into a pulsing target, highly attractive for exploitation. This is why you will see the term SOC 2 pop up when evaluating software or outsourced partners. SOC 2 is a standardized third-party audited framework that proves a vendor actually protects the data you hand over to them. Securing commission payouts and banking details provides the structural foundation your brokerage needs to operate without interruption. Picture yourself looking at two proposals for a new back-office tool. On one side, a consumer-grade platform with a low monthly fee. On the other, a SOC 2 compliant vendor that costs noticeably more. Maintaining SOC 2 compliance requires a vendor to invest heavily in specialized infrastructure and annual third-party audits. These operational costs are naturally reflected in their pricing. Choosing the cheaper option often means choosing a vendor that has bypassed these expensive audits to keep their own overhead low. Without that independent verification, you are forced to rely on the vendor's marketing promises rather than proof of their internal security safeguards. Selecting a vendor based on immediate budget savings can introduce structural weaknesses into the most sensitive areas of your business. Let's build a matrix: non-verified vendor versus SOC 2 partner. First, data access. Non-verified vendors use open pathways, allowing unmonitored access to financial files. A SOC 2 partner requires gated, monitored pathways with multi-factor authentication checkpoints. By enforcing these rigid protocols, the vendor reduces the risk of unauthorized access, whether that's from an external hacker or an internal employee. Demanding this level of security narrows your options. You will have to disqualify several consumer-grade tools that cannot provide proof of these internal controls. Older legacy software platforms are frequently disqualified here because their original architecture was not built to support modern, auditable security standards. Selecting from a smaller, more expensive vendor pool ensures that every person and system interacting with your data meets a verified security standard. This scrutiny applies beyond software. It is equally vital when you hire outsourced accounting platforms or external financial partners. Let's move down to the second row of our evaluation: financial protection and liability. You might find a boutique accounting firm that promises to handle your ledgers and owner distributions for a fraction of the typical monthly retainer. Without a SOC 2 audit, you are hoping the vendor's internal habits, like password sharing or laptop security, don't create a single point of failure. If that non-compliant vendor is breached, the damage cascades back to you. Your agent's commission payouts could be frozen, and your corporate banking details could be exposed. A SOC 2 certified partner mitigates that liability. Their systems are built with structural resilience, meaning multiple layers of security are audited to prevent your financial data from being put at risk. Minor savings on a monthly retainer cannot offset the financial risk of a single breach in your commission pipeline. Finally, we have to look at the immediate impact on your own team, here in the setup friction row. Treating SOC 2 as a non-negotiable requirement often adds extra steps for your internal staff during the onboarding process. Integrating a secure partner means navigating strict permission setting and access control protocols to ensure data only moves where it is supposed to. This internal friction sends a clear signal to your agents and banking partners that you prioritize the security of their information. You are taking the time to configure access correctly on day one, which acts as a deliberate investment in your long-term operational safety. The effort required during onboarding is a feature of institutional-grade security, designed to protect your brokerage from preventable vulnerabilities. Knowing the theory is helpful, but you need a way to apply this the next time a vendor sends you a contract. This vendor vetting framework removes the guesswork. First, does this tool touch financial or transaction data? If no, proceed with standard vetting. If yes, check for SOC 2 compliance immediately. Lacking SOC 2, walk away. With it, evaluate their ROI. Following this framework stops budget chasing from compromising your brokerage's security standards. If you are running a boutique or independent brokerage, every dollar in overhead matters. However, a single data breach can exceed the savings of a cheaper tool, especially if it destroys trust with your agents. For scaling enterprise-level brokerages, the volume of data makes security even more critical. Committing to SOC 2 compliant partners ensures that your operational risk doesn't grow at the same rate as your transaction volume. Regardless of scale, requiring SOC 2 compliance separates professional, institutional-grade partnerships from the tools that introduce unmanaged risk to your business.